accounting system. You're probably familiar with Xero, spelled Xero, receipt management. Good morning, guys. I am going to start a series within a series of CEO Diaries where I've managed to finally get this phone set up in the car so I can video. Effectively short, sharp, daily tips on growing your business, mastering your finances, minimizing your taxes. I'm going to be driving, so I'm not going to be always looking at the little green light on the iPhone. Hopefully the audio in this one's okay, otherwise I'll hook up Bluetooth speakers. And it's just literally going to be things that I'm thinking about doing, what I'm up to that day, and hopefully on a daily basis, if you incrementally jump into this, you can start to take some of these things into your business. This will be for ideally business owners that are wanting to, are close to, or are already in the 2 Comma Club. That means your sales income is $1 million or above. And through the comments, through community, through sharing, we can help each other along that journey. So I am on the way to boxing. On a Thursday, usually I'll train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday we'll be having a day off, but I will still go and do boxing, which came about actually, not a business related story, but it came about because I coach kids football. I had 2 coaches up in my grill being very aggressive, and it made me feel kind of threatened, and I thought, do you know what, if it kicks off here, I'm not going to be able to defend myself against these 2. So I decided to start boxing. I am 41, so a bit late to the party, but I wanted to be in a situation where I can feel like I can take care of myself and I can take care of my family. So that was important to me. So every Thursday we're doing boxing. I've seen one of my buddies, Remain from Strong, although we've never met in person. We have a remote dialogue, hoping for that next time we go to Dubai. Post a video of him boxing, and he is so fast, and he's a big guy like me, so I'm going to try and ask my coach today if I can focus on speed. So plan for today is, I've been waking up super late because I went to Orlando for the mastermind last week. I woke up at 7:30, so I can just about get myself out of the house, get my supplements ready, and get the kids to school. So I've just dropped them to school. They go to an independent school in Solihull, which is amazing, unbelievable school. So grateful for that. And I've got a super short day today. So today, really, the lesson will be about prioritizing, delegating, and not working in your business, but working on your business, because you just don't have the time now to work in and on if you've got a family and you've got other commitments. So for me, I've got 9 till 10 boxing, 10 till 11 I have to take this Tesla to Tesla, because through all of the hip hop and dance music I love to listen to, I've blown the speakers, so those are getting replaced. I am then going while I'm there to wait and do some work. So I've got my UEFA qualification. I've just done a UEFA C coaching qualification. So I had my assessment last night, came and watched me coach my team. I'm going to upload a load of proof of the session plans that I've done, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, last bit of homework in order to hopefully get the UEFA C certificate. Goal being just to have something outside of business that I'm doing that stimulates me in a different way. And I love the theory of football. Those of you that follow me know I believe football is life. My younger one just recently got the opportunity to trial at Aston Villa, which is amazing because I took him at 2.5 to Villa when he could hardly stand up, and now he's there actually playing in, getting an opportunity to trial to be a part of that club at under 9. So absolutely amazing. And then I'll tick off my priority work while I'm at Tesla. So I've got a client that I'm working for on a project which requires my input, so I'll move that project along. I've got 5 or 6 high value leads in the pipeline that I'll touch base with, because my responsibilities really are creating content, planning and strategizing, deciding what the on the business projects are for the quarter, and making sure that those are progressing. Not on a micro level, more on a macro level. Touching base with my team, making decisions, and really trying to stay as much as possible up in the clouds. Not doing any direct client work. We're an accountancy business, so I don't do any direct client work anymore. And so really just having 2 or 3 priorities each day where you don't feel guilty about working 3 or 4 hours. I'll work on pushing along and moving along new business. I'll work on my UEFA, which is a personal project. I'll work on these 1 or 2 key clients. I'm going to touch base with a client of mine in Dubai who we're helping on a consulting project. Again, we're opening an office in Dubai, so why is it important for me to do that client work versus another? Because then I can build a relationship with this particular client, and that will open doors and relationships which will help the soft launch of our Dubai business. So there's that, and then I'll come back, have a quick shower, change, and then I've got lunch, try and get some steps in. While I'm doing steps, I'm not on my phone, on social media, or doing other things. I'm thinking about the projects that we have. I've just set up Basecamp as a project management tool. Find that really useful actually for keeping on track of on the business projects, making sure they're progressing and making sure you're collaborating with your team. Highly recommend it. I've literally been through everything. Tried to use Notion and it is beyond my capabilities. I've used Asana, I've used Trello, I've used Google Sheets, and we've come to the point where Basecamp seems to be a really good solution in that I can load a project in there. For example, we want to get net promoter scores and feedback back from all of our clients, starting with our highest value working down. And so I can set the project, I can set the objectives, I can write a cover note, I can write why we're doing it, the purpose, I can put documents in there, links to Google Drive. Anytime someone ticks off a task, anytime someone has a conversation thread, it drops me a daily email to let me know what's going on, so I stay in touch with the project. So I'd highly recommend Basecamp for CEOs who feel like they are working in the business, want to work on the business, but need some sort of simple system to keep on top of those on the business projects. Really, really, really good. And just things like, say, one of your projects is to create a marketing plan or a content plan for the year. You can load that in and then collaborate with your team, whether they're internal or external. So that's really cool. So I'll check in on Basecamp and move those projects along. Or I will listen to some content from the mastermind while I'm walking, or listen to a book. Just try and have a bit of alone time where I'm just thinking. And then my cutoff is probably 2 o'clock today, and it's already 9, so I'm probably only going to get 2 or 3 hours work in today, because my younger son has a school football match. I missed his football match last week because I was in America. They've got some really, really, really good players on their team. So I had this conversation with them this morning. Do you want to grow your business? And I have these higher level conversations with my 7 and 9-year-old, these philosophical questions. Do you want to fulfill your own potential, earn more money and grow your business? Or do you want to let it grow more steadily, realize there's opportunities on the table, realize that you could be moving more quickly, but actually accept the fact that you've probably only got 20 to 25 hours a week to work if you want to be there for them on the sideline, cheering them on for all the things that they do. And this doesn't even include actually setting aside any time for your partner, who's probably still neglected at this point, or having friends. So my diary in the week, if I've got 20 to 25 hours allocated for work, it definitely includes a good probably 10 hours of time for me on my physical and mental health, cooking food, training, prepping, boxing, getting to bed on time, all of those things. But it doesn't allow for any time with friends. It doesn't actually allow for any time with partner. Those things have to sort of either come into the weekend, or generally speaking on friends, I've just never really been able to incorporate that. Boo-hoo. Simon's got no mates. I have got friends, but the relationship is mainly WhatsApp based. And I don't do anything on a week-to-week basis that's social. And that's wrong. However, it's like, where do you fit it all in? You can't end up doing no work. And my evenings, I want to chill out, watch TV, decompress, and get ready for the next day. So that's like who I am. I don't mind my own company. Some days I'd rather just be on my own than be out socializing. And I know that's not the same for everyone. So recognize who you are, and everyone works differently. So my tips for today in terms of productivity: get a project planner like Basecamp. I'd really recommend that. Have some key projects that you work on every quarter. Make sure everything you do is putting you in your zone of genius, and it's not something that you're doing and feeling like, hey, I shouldn't really be doing this. In that case, you need to hire people around you to do those things. We have 20 plus people in the team now, so we have that facility, but it's taken me 12 years to get to this point. So don't get me wrong, I wasn't in this situation a long time ago. I'm telling you this situation so that you can see where you can get to, where the business grows every week. But I've just come up behind a boy racer who you're probably going to hear now through the audio, because I don't have a microphone on. It's just using the iPhone audio. So we'll see how good this is, because this is iPhone selfie camera. This is me, no makeup, first thing in the morning. This is in the car with a mount that I got a recommendation of from a videographer client of mine, but it doesn't have any stabilization. So we'll see how well the iPhone does with stabilizing the image on the selfie camera. Hopefully it does well. Back to tips. Basecamp, stay in your zone of genius. Realize that you don't have to work 60 hours a week. You will get a lot done, but you'll definitely not be in the clouds for 60 hours a week. I'd say 20 to 25 hours tops is your clouds thinking time. I always say clouds because I got this from a Gary Vee talk where he spoke about, as a business owner, you do need to be in the clouds and the dirt, which is true to a certain extent. You're in the dirt doing the client work, sometimes checking in with that, so you can go through the process of delivering to a client, so you can see, is this still actually working the way I want it to? And not feeling guilty for the time, but realizing that you are going to have to make sacrifices, right? You are going to have to make sacrifices. You're not, like for me, I don't have a lot of time with friends. And if you're in a relationship, that can be difficult because you've prioritized time with your kids over time with partners or time with friends. So you need to try and work that out. And maybe that's about taking blocks off during the year, having certain Fridays where you don't work and you go and spend that time once a month with your partner or with your friends. You take a trip up, like I would take a trip up to Liverpool, Manchester, and see a couple of my buddies that way. And so you're doing a lot more pre-planning. You're planning out the year, you're pre-planning out the quarter to get some of those things in. So hopefully that's helpful. First episode of the Daily Diaries. I will get this uploaded and see what the possible process is for getting these on and getting these on YouTube on a daily basis, and then clipping these up into reels. If there's any content that you would like to see, rather than just my rambles, which I'll make sure are slightly different every day. But I do think that this genuine, unplanned content is a win-win for me, because it seems to be getting real traction on social media, and it's authentic to what I want to do, rather than some curated content plan that's designed just to get reach versus what you actually want to talk about on that day. So that's it from me. First episode of Daily CEO Diaries, and I'll see you guys in the next one.